Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How's everyone doing? I see a drag wolf.
And that's it.
That's it.
It's the only one that spoke.
I would think, knowing that we were going to do this, Apple was going to be there.
Oh, yeah. Greetings.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
There she is.
Hello. Nice purple.
Yes.
I like the color. Although it might be different for everyone, but it's cute.
It is different for everyone, yes. She didn't actually choose her own color. It's the color chosen by the system.
Fair. And it's blue here, not purple.
Yep.
So that shows that too. Okay. How are you? And how are you?
Doing well?
I'm good. We've been laughing for the last hour or so.
Yes.
About stupid stuff. Like the word moist.
Yeah. And also just in general stupid stuff, because it's basically the only thing we really talk about.
That's the only thing we're good at.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That makes sense.
This is fine. So, how are you all doing?
Yeah, that's what I asked.
But nobody answered, so I asked again.
Well, Dragwolf said I'm alright. I'm waiting for Apple to say. But she did just watch 3 whole chapters, so I would think that she is very excited and wanting more.
Yes.
Right?
That also means that she has been delayed for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
The shame.
It's also the reason why she's the only one that will not be allowed to say that she wants more at the end of this chapter.
Yep.
She's gonna be like, More, you just got 6. What do you mean?
Yes. That's called binging.
Yeah, very much so.
Very useful.
Yes.
Means you don't have to wait. Which is really nice. Because waiting sucks.
True. And here we are, waiting for the rest of her friends.
Yes.
I wonder where they are. Usually people are quite fast.
Somewhere on the other side of the Eden. There's Pixie.
Pixie. Hello.
Sailor Flame.
Anki. Anki. I am the lighthouse, it's fine. I'm glad that made you laugh. I didn't see the last 15 minutes of talking because I didn't expect the stream to be 2 hours. Yeah, it was really long.
Well, you should have looked that up beforehand then. Huh?
I'm gonna ask for more anyway. Oh, good thing. Next time you can actually be here for it.
Yes.
He knows when. I will say it at the end of the stream.
I know when. You've told me when. That doesn't mean I know it.
I said it not even an hour ago.
Not even an hour ago. That's true, but that doesn't mean that I remember an hour ago.
Do you remember what you ate?
Yes, because it's always the same.
No, I like...
Oh, here. Yes.
Okay, good. But yeah, so for... I might as well now. For the next stream, it's going to be the 10th of July. I bumped into you.
Yes, because you're moving around.
I'm nervous. It's fine. I'm always nervous.
I am not.
So it's going to be July 10th. Will be the next stream.
Woo! Yeah. If I do that too much,
bar any
I will
issues.
Rip out of my shirt. Yeah. There we go.
I wouldn't think ripping out of your shirt. I would think that it comes out of your corset.
Oh no, I would actually be stuck at the shoulders.
Fair enough. What did you eat?
Toasties. And snackies. I had cheese souffle.
Yeah.
It was really good.
You're forgetting one thing.
Muffin.
Muffin. Choco muffin.
Yes. Was dessert.
It was dessert. It was also finally a snack that I ate just before stream, so I won't be like extremely hungry after. Because usually I forget to eat something before and then I am hungry. It was lovely. She had that as well.
Toasties. Yes.
Fair enough.
That does mean that you did groceries, so well done.
Also fair enough.
Yeah.
can be a struggle sometimes.
Yeah,
To go out into the big.
planning something is entirely different from actually doing that. So we planned or she planned to do groceries, and actually having it done is nice. Damn it, I'm getting stuck on things.
She actually told me Thursday she was gonna do groceries that day, but hearing this, she might not have or had to do it again.
I think again, yeah. Mm-hmm. I also told you Thursday that I was gonna take a shower.
True.
And then that didn't happen. And then
Did it happen Friday?
No.
I didn't expect you to. It was 8 when we hung up for the rehearsal. I went to 3 stores. Oh my god. Well done.
Nice. And then, like, if you plan something and you really don't care for it at the moment you planned it, you shouldn't do it. As long as you can push it ahead.
Did you eventually end up doing it?
Yes.
Yesterday.
Fair. So yesterday we got home and we were both like, okay, now a shower is good.
Fair.
And then we both wanted to take a shower, and that was the moment we did. And we didn't really meet any other people before then that we really needed to take a shower for. So
does that mean I'm special?
Yes.
Because I know who you saw yesterday.
Yeah.
So does that mean I'm more special than them?
It was also really hot. And by then it was a week ago.
To be fair, yeah. I was going to say the last time I showered before yesterday was at the pool.
Exactly.
Yeah, I figured it would be the same.
It has been so hot in our house.
Yeah.
We got up this morning and we looked at the thermostat, the wall, and it said 30.5. That was in the morning. After a colder night. Okay,
yeah.
Well, that was not this morning. That was yesterday morning.
No, that was not a cold night. It was colder than the day, but it wasn't cold. Last night was cold. Or
colder.
Yeah.
It is very warm.
Time for fans? Or in your case, you probably can actually afford airco.
Well,
those
we
portable.
have some fans. We have some fans running. Mostly Apple is in front of one the entire time.
I mean, it's on right now.
Yes, but it's not like aimed at us.
No, but you do realize where it is and where I'm usually sitting.
Yes.
It's usually on me.
Mm-hmm.
There's also one on my side of the bed. Because I hate warmth.
I have one that is like this big.
She says I doubt we can afford that.
Yes. I doubt that too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They're like under $100 a portable one. It's actually not that expensive for a portable.
I mean, that's just a glorified fan.
Yes, but they can cool down this entire space.
Yeah.
That won't. That will move the air.
I mean, it's close enough. It's a glorified fan.
Also, I might not want it, but I always do it anyways. I'm guessing that was for the shower. Got a bunch of cheap bananas, so I'm gonna make a banana milky. I'm very curious. Show us pictures.
Yes.
And let me know what it tastes like. Because I really like the artificial one, which definitely doesn't taste like normal banana.
It's still disgusting, though.
No.
It's equally gross.
No.
So don't worry about that.
No, it's equally good.
No.
It's a different kind of good. They do, but so do fans.
Yes, but less.
Yeah.
Likely.
Oh, that was about groceries. Okay, fair. If you have to go. Yeah, no, that's fair. It applies to everything, doesn't it? If you have to, you'll do it.
Yep. I don't want to leave the house, but it's on fire. I guess I'll do it anyway.
Well, that would be nice and toasty. That would
a little too much.
I'll be sure to specifically tag you only. If you don't, I will.
That's fine. I'm probably not going to see that message until a week later.
If at all.
Well, I do look through notifications, and then I don't respond to them, but I do see them.
Well, that's my point. If no one tags you, you might just skip.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
If someone tags me, I will see it.
I know. That's why I said if she doesn't, I will.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be annoying.
And then I'll see it.
I'm debating messaging Frog and Momo, asking where they are.
They should be here.
Yes! I did actually ask Momo if she was gonna be here. Oh, I'm gonna message Momo. Entertain the chats. Oh crap. Streaming. How do I stream again?
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, agreed. That's that is also kind of my problem with groceries, where at some point I need to make food, and then I have already run out of food in the house, and then I need to go grocery hunting, which I won't. Therefore, I won't eat that day. That was what I did for like, I don't know, half a year. It sucked, and showering is sort of mandatory. I have a set day if I feel like it, and then I can shift that day until I need to go out. Yeah. So
I just, whenever I'm like, it's gotten too bad, I really need to go shower now, that's when I go.
Mm-hmm.
Because it hurts. I think most people know that by now. I don't do well with water.
Yes.
I hate fire. I don't do well with water. I don't know how to live my life. It's fine.
Well, you are firmly planted on the ground, so as long as you're not floating away, that's good.
Like Aunt Marge in Harry Potter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite scary.
This is the second Harry Potter thing I've said today. The other one was the Animagus one.
Oh yeah. I already forgot.
You want me to say it again?
I mean, now we're having an inside joke, so I think you should share with the class.
This morning I saw a TikTok of someone who was like, what would it be like if I were a student at Hogwarts? And she was like, Miss McGonagall, if someone were to be an animagus and they can change into a chicken, and I were to make that chicken into chicken fingers and eat them, would it still be considered cannibalism? Yes. Fish fingers. The chicken fingers, but you know what I mean. Chicken's fingers. So yeah, that made me chuckle. It's like, yes, it would be cannibalism.
Yes.
In fairness, Guy has at least good reason to put it off. Yeah, I would think so. It sucks that it's not like just when my actual face gets wet, because even the condense, the water droplets in the air will make my face burn. Very counterproductive, by the way. It burns because water landed on it.
Yes, it's a chemical reaction.
Yes. It's stupid. Also, I'm very overlighted. Should I turn down enough?
Yes.
Help? Or would we change that one?
That one is fine. If you turn the top one off, that should help.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So much better.
Much better. To be fair, I was like right underneath.
Mm-hmm.
That's way better. I'm still white.
I am the same lighting now.
Yes.
Because I wasn't underneath that light.
That's fair. I'm
also sitting very up straight.
Yeah, I wonder why.
No choice. So this is a corset.
Stand up.
Yes, and then just see the only thing you'll see is, oh no, it actually does work. So this is a corset that is impeding my movement. And it's very nice. Mm-hmm. It works very well.
And I'm wearing a new skirt that I'm not going to show because then we have to change the whole camera angle. It's green.
Yes. Surprise,
so
it's green.
I also have like 3 layers before everyone goes like, why did you just pull up her entire skirt? It's like 3 layers of things. It's fine.
It also goes to like way past where we are. I could lift up that part and still it would like fold
Yes.
around.
It goes through the ground. Actually, if I don't pull it together when I move around in my chair, I can roll over it. And yes. I'm holding it before you think like she's doing it wrong. But yeah, it's like a taffeta fabric. So whenever you shift it in the sun, it actually changes a little bit towards sort of purplish green. It's still green, but it's like a purplish green, which is really nice.
It shifts to like
a
dark purple, which is like the shift itself is like a gray tint.
Yeah.
It's like a dark gray into green. It's really nice.
It's really cool. I'm really happy with it. And it's big enough that when Apple has helped me make my hoop skirt, that I can wear it underneath. Bloop. Right now I'm wearing a petticoat because otherwise it touches the floor when I'm walking and I'll step on it.
Go flat on your face.
Yes, it does.
You stand up and
yes, it would. Where's Momo?
Because then you take a step and then you fall forward and then on instinct you take another step
into it.
into it further.
Yes.
Which means you'll go flat on your face and pull your skirt down.
Yes.
That's even worse.
It sounds like something that would happen to me. Yes.
That's worse.
I'm not as clumsy as you claim to be, but I am clumsy sometimes. So that would definitely happen.
You mean the fact that I just walked into the table?
For example.
Yeah.
Or with your sleeve across the door frame and then getting stuck.
I have been getting stuck on these armrests
yes.
for the entire time I was here. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Well, I do want to show you guys something, and if they're not going to be here, then they're just going to get missed out. It's fine.
Just what it is.
So I made something, and I'm really, really proud. Because I made the map.
So we did talk through this, but this was entirely Key's idea.
Yes. And I started with the map for the new story, which I'm not going to show you guys. But I did want to show you guys this one, because it's really good, and I'm really proud. And it's like, all of the landmarks that you guys now know are on there. I think they can see it correctly, because I can read it on my screen.
I have no idea. I never know.
Fair. So, there's Regul, Gardana, Emerald, and Aravmir.
Yes, and the tiny little lodge.
Yeah, no, this is not the lodge. That was in the forest. This is the town that Grabnix went to steal from.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
And then this is the little town that they went just before they went to Gardana.
This
which
is the
didn't
forest
have a
where
name.
Umbrella was originally dropped.
Yes. So, it's really cool.
It's all on there.
I'm really happy about it. So I didn't add specific just one lodge thingies, because I thought that would be too much detail. Just the towns and the cities. But yeah, I'm really proud.
It looks amazing.
It's really good.
It's even better IRL.
Happy bounces.
Well, if they're not here, then that's their problem.
Yeah.
I think we should start.
Yeah. Since you're finishing your drink, do you want to start with the monster? Should we do that with the first? Because I still have my other one.
That's with the first, it's fine.
Every Smiley Wolf will get a monster.
Nice.
I can't do that yet. I can do this in this screen.
Alright.
The summary.
Yes, the summary. In the last stream, we saw our party training extensively. Amarella managed to tackle Theoden and trained with most people as they moved closer and closer to the plains of Aravmir. When they finally managed to get there, they took one more night of rest in a hidden part of the forest before they started the war. Amarilla threw herself into battle just before Theoden signaled everyone to attack by a whistle. The first instance of the signal showed us Aiel's battle with 2 mages and winning. The same signal showed us Zerfar's battle with his 2 mages and how Aiel managed to patch him up. In this stream, we'll hear a few more instances of that start at the same signal and thus they happen simultaneously.
Yes. So Apple just heard this explanation because we did that at the end of the last stream too. But yes, there are a few more moments that happen at the same time.
Yes. It's a little confusing, I can imagine. Because it's like, it's one signal, and everything is in one bit, and then the same whistle signal is heard at that time, which is at the same time as the other part. So that is here as well.
Which is also why for the writing I actually chose to add the little bit that they see Amarilla running up, because that shows like, oh, that is the same moment. She is running up, she's starting battle, the whistle sounds, and then everyone else does a thing.
Yes.
So
it's all a rehearsed plan.
Yes.
It's all rehearsed chaos.
Choreographed chaos.
Yes.
I like that.
All right.
Are we ready? Are you ready? I don't want to do the thing. You can. You have your hat on too.
Are you ready, kids? Oh, that's the one you meant.
Yeah. Let's go to... Yes.
No, it's ready now.
I need to go here too.
Yes.
Oh,
hey, Frog
Daniel,
I can't. I'm stuck.
You can stretch. What do you mean?
I actually have a corset on.
So well, that was
Thanks for popping in, dude.
You know you can stretch like this too, right?
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. My sleeves don't allow it.
Stretch your legs.
Yeah, I can stretch like this. This is how I stretch now. I'm a chicken.
Hype. Oh, I kind of want to wait now because Daniel's here and he doesn't know anything of the story. I just want to talk. Like, how are you and stuff?
Well, yeah.
How are you? Thank you for popping in.
Hell
what does that mean?
That means I am dressed nicely.
That's fair. I'll agree then. I've never heard of it being said like that.
Well, that's new stuff.
Gone old.
No, I'm calling him young.
Fair. He did. Apple. He did.
Yes, but that's not even the issue. It's mostly the cuffs that get stuck on my arm. I can open them, and then they get stuck on the armrests.
No, that's fine. I like asking how you are. I like that you're popping in and everything.
Yeah. We appreciate you being here.
Exactly.
We appreciate your existence.
You were here before the other frog. And Momo.
Who was actually invested in this story very much.
I'm very appreciative of you being here, because I really like that you're considerate enough to go say hi.
Yeah.
Also, I will message you but when we start the new story, you could technically watch with us.
Yes.
Because it won't be far off. I won't say how long it will be, but I will message you just before, so you could technically join if you'd like. It'll be a fully different story, technically.
Yep.
Sort of. Spoilers.
It is a fully different story.
Yes.
It is different. Yes.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. It is different.
It is different. It is a standalone in a series.
Yes.
There you go. I think Apple will agree with that description. That it's a standalone in a series.
It is written the same way, but better because experience.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. So if you are interested, come by.
Yes.
For those streams.
I'll let you know when that would be.
Hell yeah.
That would. Yeah.
Maybe add Vincent to that list as well.
Oh yes, I will.
Because he wanted to be with this.
Oh, I definitely will. It's gonna be awesome.
Cool.
Very excited.
All right. Well, now we're actually ready.
Yes, let's start.
And now we can actually press the ready button.
So it wasn't there for nothing.
Exactly.
I'll see when the time comes, but for now I'm gonna do my own thing again. You guys have a good stream. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Can you do Control F?
Yes, but no, because I don't know what 1 to 5 is. There we go, I did it.
There we go. So some on stream. What's it called?
Scooting.
No, editing. I was
Editing.
doing this.
Yeah.
Fixing issues.
We have certain things that we need to do, like summary.
Yes.
That is over this. So
yes. Let's
go.
Chapter 53. Grodnix and Lunara's perspective. As Grodnix and Lunara were on the sideline, they could see Amarilla charge to the field. A horde of all types of demon creatures ran to meet her, and both Grodnix and Lunara had trouble staying put. When the signal came, they charged the field together. Lunara slashed away with her claws, keeping a close eye on Grodnix. Heavy swings pushed the monsters into the ground as Grodnix followed suit. The foot soldiers were no match for the swift claws of Lunara and the mighty bashes of Buskers, swung by its equally sized wielder. As a bunch of 8-legged creatures came crawling up to them, Lunara swung at them with quick claws and deadly precision. The dodging technique Surfer had taught them really came in handy with several arms swinging at them.
Where are you taking all the fun? Let me have some too.
Grodnix ran up, jumped, and smashed Buskers right on the abdomen of the arachnid. Green gunk flew everywhere, coating the grass, the other arachnids, and himself. Yeah, you can have them all. A hyena-like creature attacked her, and she darted around him for a bit, taunting him.
Can't handle a little muck. Scared to dirty your clothes.
I'd rather not be green, like you.
Why, is your blood blue?
Not blue, but boiling. Focus more on fighting instead of yapping. She took down the hyena and clawed at him. Grodnix huffed and smashed 3 insects from the side, bashing into them into each other with buskers, leaving them laying on the field. Suddenly the horde became less dense. The newly sprouted grass slowly turned a yellowy color and perished. 2 hooded figures slowly walked up, like they had all the time in the world. They each already seemed to have chosen their target. One of them moved in on Grodnix. He opened his hands, and dark butterflies sprouted in thin air. He took a breath, and by blowing on them, he sent them to Grodnix. The other walked determined over to Lunara, and with sweeping gestures created a rose bush that rapidly grew towards her, thorns sticking out of every side.
Ah! Flying abominations! Get them away from me!
Lunara had little time to look over, but she was worried. Her eyes flitted towards Grodnix. She saw the butterflies getting closer, trying to swarm his head. Butterflies? You run screaming for butterflies?
Yes, butterflies! With their little nozzle mouths. Shoot! Away!
What are they going to do? Flap you to death?
They might as well. I ain't dealing with decorative moths, you hear me?
As Lunara was smacking away the vines coming up to her, the thorns were tearing up her hands. Time to swap.
Alrighty, seems good to me. Let me deal with the bouquet. Buskers will make quick work of these weeds.
I get to play with butterflies. Makes me feel like a kid again. They turned around each other and without missing a beat attacked their respective mages. Like a lawnmower, the bushes stood no chance against Buskers and Grodnix. He tore through the roses, spreading individual petals all across the side of the plains, until he stood face to face with the white-cloaked mage. Lunara, on her side, turned the butterflies into dust with her claws. The moment they were harmed, they would dissipate. One of the butterflies managed to land on her arm. She felt a sting where the proboscis hit her skin, and almost immediately her veins appeared to turn black in the immediate area, and it started hurting. She shook off the creatures and bashed into them again. She saw the mage creating more of them as she fought. Lunara knew she would have to get closer soon.
Are a bunch of flowers all you got?
It chuckled, waved its arms, and sent big walls of thorns around the fighting ring, encapsulating both Grodnix and Lunara. Look what you've done now! Your big mouth got us trapped!
I can smash through these easily.
While you're doing that, I'll make a run for him. She nodded at the sorcerer in the black cloak. Lunara, quick on her feet, dashed in between the butterflies that appeared to be venomous, and went right for the source. When she reached the cloaked figure, she could smell the decay and rot. She swiped at him, but he managed to dodge. It stopped the production of butterflies, so she kept going. The white-cloaked mage, preoccupied with creating the barrier, made a last-second dive out of the way of buskers, leaving a hammerhead-shaped dent in the yellowed grass. The mages never spoke as Lunara and Grodnix attacked them. Lunara hissed when another butterfly hit her shoulder. but she also managed to hit the mage. He backed up as his dark blood trickled down his cheek. Lunara could feel a burning sensation on her hand where the blood had fallen. With a jump and a slam, Grotnix planted Buskers firmly in the side of the Thorn Mage, causing it to fall to the ground several meters away. Grunts were heard, breathing getting louder and heavier, until a shriek emerged from the white cloth on the grassy floor. The cloak burst open to reveal a humanoid porcupine, covered in flowers and a death stare on its face, aimed at Grotnix. With a mad dash, they sprinted towards him, trying to cast more thorn walls, yet in their frenzied state only managed to get one off. Grotnix waited for his opponent to be close enough, and with a great swing managed to hit the mage once more, knocking it backwards once again, and after a pained exhale, melted into the ground. Lunara realized she had a venomous creature on her hands, but had no other way of disposing of him but as quickly as possible. She slashed and dodged as much as she could. Damn, words. She slashed and dodged as much as she could. Her aim was his face, but with both of him attacking and the butterflies swarming her, she was feeling weak and constantly had to look everywhere. After 5 more stings from the butterflies, she got angry. Pain was coursing through her, and she knew she would need healing after all this was over. Thick venom was running through her veins already. Hissing at the mage, she stalked closer. She slashed at him and faked another, and then slashed at his throat. Dark, thick goop dripped down the front of his dark robe, and he quickly sank to his knees. The butterflies turned to dust where they flew and got blown away by the breeze. Anywhere the goop touched, the ground turned grey and dead. Lunara's hand tingled from the biting substance on it, but she could finally breathe normally, knowing the mage was dead.
David's perspective. David was standing next to Theoden as Amarilla ran onto the plains. He was ready with several rocks they had gathered for Theoden's plan. He could see Theoden getting ready with his bow and arrows, so he got ready with the first few rocks. As Amarilla reached the halfway point, Theoden started shooting his arrows, which was David's time to start throwing rocks way past where Amarilla was running, so he couldn't accidentally hit her. When she hit the midway point, Theoden whistled loudly. They didn't speak, but exchanged a nod and rushed to the battlefield too. Bashing out of the way several foot soldiers, David made his way to the center. Although he wasn't very quick on his feet, his large physique made him seem unstoppable, like a freight train smashing through a field of corn, pushing aside every demon in his way. Seeing David storm closer, faster and faster, Baal immediately signaled behind him. It was barely a flick of the wrist, but thunderous hooves were heard from deep into the horde. A shadowy mass came thrashing through the crowd. The closer it got, the more defined it became. But it was hard to make out what it was until it emerged from the legion. A headbutt from a juggernaut sent several soldiers flying, without impeding on the forward momentum of the crazed beast. David put his feet firmly on the ground and got into a battle stance. But when the monster got very close, David realized it wasn't planning to stop. Oh, fuck. His sentence was cut short by the impact. Dragged along by the rhino, David tried his best to stop it to no avail. After pushing back several tens of meters, the creature forcefully lifted its head, launching David up and over itself, making him land on the other side. David saw his chance and ran up, grabbing one of his thrown rocks on the way. He clambered onto the hind leg of the beast, trying to make his way up higher. The beast turned around to find no one and started searching for his victim. David was slowly climbing his way up the back of the monster until it felt something. With a loud snarl, it started to thrash about, making it very hard for David to continue climbing. But he managed to keep his grip and was around the neck area now. With a heavy smash of the rock to the mask, causing the rock to split, the beast fell to the ground. David held on to a sharpened piece of broken rock and jabbed it behind the mask into the head of the rhino. A sharp, pained yelp came from the beast and knocked David off its back. David landed among the other minions and instantly got kicked by one of them. Their assault was short-lived as the juggernaut plowed through them and David, flinging everyone into the air once more. Gearing up for another attack, the rhino pushed its large hind legs into the dirt, giving David some time to anticipate. When the beast charged, David jumped high into the air and landed on the sharp rock, the shard of rock still sticking out of the monster's head, making it sink into a softer part behind the mask. A geyser of blood emerged, shooting David backwards and onto the grass. The creature instantly plummeted to the floor, and carried by its momentum, slid another couple meters. David, covered in the Juggernaut's blood, walked up to his opponent. A lifeless stare was the only thing that filled its eye sockets. In the distance, he saw bolts of magic where Amarilla was fighting. As he picked up his speed again, he found it becoming easier to mow down more soldiers the closer he got to her. As he moved closer, a second mage entered her little ring of bystanders, a flamboyant being, conjuring up green fire. He threw the fire in little balls into Amarilla, almost to taunt her, or bait her. Need a helping hand?
I'll be alright. Find that bastard. Hunt the coward.
Great. Be safe. You got this.
Bring me back his head.
You've kept me waiting.
I would have dealt with you if you didn't run away with the bridge.
Enough. Your words only waste my time. I will break you like I have before. Now, without the backup of your insignificant friends.
Grodnik's perspective. As Grodnix and Lunara had a moment to breathe inside the flower wall that was pulled up, Grodnix looked over Lunara's wounds.
You alright?
I will be. We aren't done yet. It has hardly spread. We'll find a good healer after all of this is over.
We should head back in then.
He got ready to smash the vines with his hammer. Before Lunara could speak, the deadened vines were turned into crumples by a large beast, bashing through them.
Get down! It's you again, huh?
The beast stopped and exhaled loudly. It was clearly furious at Grodnix, and he knew why, too.
Thought I was done with you on the bridge. You don't even have a new mask yet.
Lunara didn't argue and immediately hid. The rhino beast was still big and imposing, but he was indeed wearing a broken mask. Can I help?
You'd help by getting to safety. Means I don't have to worry about your health. I'll handle this.
Lunara dashed for the opening the Juggernaut had made and was immediately met with foot soldiers of all shapes and sizes. After Lunara left, the rhino only had eyes for Grodnix. He started his charge, bent forward, making speed fast. With quick reflexes, Grodnix started running towards it, sliding underneath at the last second. When he emerged at the back, the rhino was still trying to slow down from the miss. Grunting in frustration, he bent off when he was going slower and turned around to charge again. Grodnix gripped firmly onto Buskers and started his run towards the walls of the arena. The rhino adjusted his trajectory and tried to make more speed again. When it was close enough, Grodnix jumped and threw Buskers forward. Hitting one of the eyes of the beast, it started thrashing in pain. The rhino shook his head forcefully, and because Grodnix had come so close to deal the damage, he got caught on the horn of the front of the beast. When the beast noticed, he swung his head back slowly and another way quickly, sending Grodnix flying to the other side of the arena. He landed with a thud.
Ow. I hate flying, but landing is even worse.
He picked up Buskers from the meadow ground. The Juggernaut laughed grimly and started another charge the moment he recovered.
You monsters are denser than mithril. At least I learned from 3 times the same attack in a row.
He jumped out of the way in time to miss the charge. With the rhino needing to turn around, Grodnix took the opportunity and clambered on his back. The Juggernaut managed to grab his leg and threw him in the air like a ragdoll. Grodnix flew up for a moment, and like the rhino had intended, landed with his side on the horn of the beast. A gasp was the only sound Grodnix could make before being tossed aside, lifeless, to the floor. A few seconds and a lot of blood later, he got up. He took off his jacket and strapped the sleeves around his torso to stop most of the bleeding.
All right. You thought you were angry? Now I'm angry. And that is the last thing you would want.
A wicked grin formed on the beast's lips, just visible under the mask. Grodnix charged the beast before it could start another attack of its own, picking up Buskers in his run. With a big leap, he landed on the face, knowing to avoid the horn. The beast was too confused to react, and with Grodnix on its forehead, started running in a random direction. Grodnix took Buskers in both hands, and with an overhead smash, caved the rest of the mask in. The monster let out a deafening cry and slid to the ground.
Don't think this is over so easily. I'm not done with you yet.
The creature tried to get up, hands to his face in agony. With a bash from Buskers, it was thrown to the ground again. Whimpering, it crawled towards a boulder. Grodnix gripped onto Buskers one more time as he walked over to the quivering mask against the rock.
Not so big, huh? Even compared to a goblin, huh?
Grodnix lifted the hammer like a baseball bat and swung it with all his might. The head of the beast exploded. A fountain of blood and chunks rained down from the lifeless form against the boulder. Grodnix turned around. The pain in his side made him fall over. He had completely forgotten about his wounds. Using Busker's handle as a walking stick, he slowly dragged himself away from the battle to find some safety. Chapter 8. Slightly graphic.
Yeah, it's only a little. It's only a little bit.
I wonder how people are going to react. I wonder how people are going to react.
Oh, yeah.
Just for the correction, this hyena wasn't me. I read that when you were doing the first bit of yours, I was like, yeah, that's fair.
I saw that when you were still doing that. I was like, oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. It's covering all grounds.
Yes. So, just like last time.
It's become a little bit of a tradition.
You don't want to piss off Grodnix, no.
It's very dangerous.
But yeah, so we have a new tradition until they run out of flavors to test. I have the Monster Ultra Black, which should be cherry flavored.
Which means I will probably not like it.
He's probably going to hate it, but more for me.
But after this, I know.
Exactly. It does smell nice. I'll try it.
Dark red.
That is nice. It's like cassis, actually. Colors like cassis.
Black currant.
Oh yeah. Less bad than you thought.
Mm-hmm.
I figured. It's tart.
I would not like this for more than just what I had.
Fair.
I like it, but I probably wouldn't like the entire can.
Do you want something else before we do the next?
Oh no, this is fine.
Okay.
It's good though.
I like it a lot. I will
expected.
definitely be getting more of these. But to be fair, I like all the fruity flavors. This is a cherry flavor. Sippy sippy. See, now you have to get a drink. Or, you don't want that. I was going to say I'll just do that. Hello, Ram, you're too late. We already did a chapter.
Hey, Ram. Nice and on time as usual.
Also, no answer from Momo, so. Bah. I saw, yes, I've only just awoken. Yeah, I'm faring the same for Momo and Frog, actually.
No, they went grocery.
That would be a theme.
Oh, that's their usual.
Yeah, that's my
excuse
point.
for
That
any-
would be a theme. To be fair, like I think yesterday or the day before, Momo at like 2 p.m. she was like, "We just woke up." And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds great. Can I have that?"
You don't want that.
Well,
No, you don't.
one day, and then the next one I would like.
That means you're stuck for that long.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah. I really thought that said waffle.
I don't have a waffle, but I do have a waffle.
Waffle.
A
A waffle.
Sloepiram, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, does that mean that's Dragon Wolf's fault? Because I know you guys were playing Valheim all day yesterday.
Not at all.
I just like blaming Dragon Wolf for everything.
I mean, yes.
That's what the youngest get, right?
Yes.
We were?
Were.
Weren't you?
Apparently no.
Well, then it was just the afternoon. I think Dragon Wolf said. There you go! That, we were? Well, yeah, apparently so. See, here, I remember, like, days where it was, like, 1 a.m. and Dragon Wolf would get, like, reprimanded for being on his computer still. Playing Magic.
That wasn't one. That was 4:30.
Well, that wasn't the one that he got reprimanded for.
The game is addicting.
Don't blame the game. I blame both.
Blame the controller.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yes.
Oh, that's what you do often, so that's fair, actually.
I mean, if you blame the controller, that's fine. As long as you do realize that it was your input.
Yeah.
If your input was too late, then you can blame the controller all you want. But that controller doesn't input on its own.
That's true.
So,
that's fair.
If you press the jump button the moment you step off that ledge and too far, yeah, good luck on you.
That's fair. I've heard you blame the controller often, being like, why is this one different from the other one?
Yes.
Where you play on the Switch one day and on your Xbox or PlayStation the other.
Yeah.
Like,
where's the X button?
Well, where's A and B? Like,
well, yeah.
Those are the other ways.
The X button is universal on all three of the controllers.
Fair.
There's always an X button. But always in a different spot.
That's fair.
With the X button being the A button on the PlayStation, the X button being the left button on the Xbox, the X button being the top button on the Nintendo systems.
Fair. Why doesn't the controller have quantum technology that makes you input before you do?
Whoa. No, that's original Mortal Kombat.
Why?
Because the original Mortal Kombat was actually made to cheat. It would input, it would make inputs faster than you could anticipate, because it was made to be that hard.
Okay.
It was made to be stupid difficult to keep you playing.
Fair enough.
It actually cheated to keep you from winning.
Fair enough.
That's the original Mortal Kombat. It sucks.
I've only ever played Street Fighter, so to me that's
Street Fighter is good.
Yeah, it's
Mortal Kombat fan is honestly.
I don't know if I've told you, but I used to have Sega Saturn,
Mm-hmm.
like a really old one, and that I had Street Fighter 2, Rayman, like an original, like a really old
Rayman 1?
I don't know. It had little mosquitoes, does that help?
That's Rayman, yes.
Or
Which one?
little mosquitoes. It's fine.
Yeah, they are quite big.
I don't know which.
Was it a 2D platform? Was it set in a happy, colorful world?
I had to. Yeah, it was. Yeah, 2D. Yes.
Then it's Rayman 1.
There you go. It was so hard. I could only get to level 2 or something, like, or to a different area, which was then the second area, which I'm guessing is level 2, because it's been about 20 years since I've played this game. It's fine. I'm not old. I'm just old. But I could not get any further, but I love replaying the bit that I knew how to play.
To be fair, there are games that I played 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Back then I was 6.
Yeah. I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
Double your age.
I mean, yeah. Not anymore, though.
No, it is only then. It will never happen again.
By chance, it was then.
Yeah.
And no other possible moment.
I actually really liked, this is totally different, but 2 years ago when I turned 30 was the only moment that I was half the age of my dad. Because he was 30 when he got me. So he was 60 the moment I turned 30. And it was also 3 days before my own actual birthday. So my sister was like, well, we're about 90 together. Because it was before her birthday. So she was 30 and not 31 yet. So we were technically, or actually 120 together. She probably said it right. I'm just really bad at math. So she was...
Yeah, that's weird if your dad is the same age as you.
As me and my sister together. So we were 120 together.
Correct.
It's fine. So we went out to have dinner with all three of us before my sister would turn 31. So we would be a round number together. It was really fun. And it was just us. Like normally when we go out, it's like the entire cousin.
Family.
Yeah, well, like...
That is family.
It is family, but
yes.
family also sounds
Household.
like every household. That will work. Usually it's with the entire household of my dad, so my brothers and my stepmom included. In this case, it was just us three, like the original Van der Lees, my last name. It's also on my YouTube, so I don't care. It's on the internet now.
It exists!
It exists. So it's just the original.
It's like it's been outed.
Yeah, again, it's also on my YouTube, which I promote here, so this doesn't really matter. But yeah, that was fun. And will never happen again. Well, unless we all turn really old, then then it can only be then.
Yeah. There's no point where you and your sister combined are the same age as your dad, except for right then.
Yeah.
Because that is otherwise impossible.
You would know better than that.
You age at the same rate.
Yeah,
Which means that by the time you are 60, he's 90.
Yeah.
Let's hope he gets there.
I very much hope so.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
To be fair, getting over, 75 is a pretty respectable age.
True.
Getting over 80 is
good.
Getting over 85 is impressive. Getting to 90, I don't know how much you would still be doing by then.
True, but I would shift all of those up 5 years, especially with all of the modern medicine and ways to care for people.
I don't know if that's true.
The only thing I've
never met someone
experienced with, I was going to say, the only thing I've experienced with is my grandpa, who actually turned 94 just before he passed in 2020. And he was working up until his 89th. So he only had
stopped working and went all downhill because he kept being busy.
Well, actually, no, because he tried to keep busy even after. So he kept his schedule up and then he went for walks to make sure that he kept moving.
Yeah.
His legs did deteriorate because he had spot iron.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to say that in English. So like the little veins were popping, like expanding, and that hurts.
Yeah.
But the biggest decline for him was the first blood clot from those same veins going up to his brain. And he had a sort of like a stroke. And then he had 9 in a row within a span of about 3 months, and the last one was the last of him. That's how it happened. So he was actually really active into his 93rd, 93. And after that, it declined because of the blood clot. It's not too bad. Which is why, like, that is my experience. So to me, that feels like just a little early to say like 75 to. I would scoot it up like 5. I will admit that my grandfather was probably really spry for his age. So that's why only 5 and not like immediately 10 years.
Yeah.
I went off on a tangent. There you go.
It's a thing that happens. Also, your camera is lagging.
Everything is lagging a little bit. I have no frame drops, so.
No, your audio seems good as well.
Yeah, it's just my camera.
Just the camera. I think your laptop is getting a little hot.
Oh yeah. I will turn on the fan. You will hear it a little bit. I'm sorry, but I do want my laptop to survive the stream.
Nah.
So I think you guys will want to as well.
Nah. It's fine.
Anyway, speaking of Mortal Kombat, I've been watching a lot of the Angry Video Game Nerds. They have some interesting videos on it.
I've watched a little bit of AVGN, and I never really got into it. To be fair, if you're screaming at a video game, I'm usually not that interested.
I would not watch that either. I have enough of that, thanks.
Rayman stopped being a thing after 3. Legends and Origins are debatable. To be fair, Rayman 1 was also not that great compared to 2 and 3.
I don't know which one I had.
1.
If you say so.
Yes. I know so.
Okay.
Because 2 was 3D.
Oh yeah, then probably, actually.
Only Rayman 1.
Do you mean 3D, like Spyro walking around?
Yes.
That way?
Yes.
Yeah, no, then definitely.
You have a 2D platform where you just jump on things and up.
But the one I have on the Switch is also 2D. It's Origins
yes,
then.
That is also 2D.
That's Origins then?
Yes. And then Rayman 2 for the, I believe, PS2 or PS1 maybe. That was a 3D game. That's a 3D platformer adventure game.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I have to be able to handle a lot of cursing. Well, I can handle a lot of cursing, but
I won't enjoy it. I can handle it.
Yeah.
I won't enjoy it.
Cursing is fine. Just anger at video games, I think you should just stop then. If you're getting angry, before you get angry, stop playing the game.
Yes. That's usually how I play Ori.
A game is supposed to be fun.
It's like, I'm frustrated. I'm even more frustrated. Never mind.
You get frustrated, and then you start thinking about how frustrated you are, and the placebo effect kicks in, and you get more frustrated. And then you get frustrated about the fact that you're frustrated, which makes you more frustrated. So pause the game.
Or just stop.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Walk away for a second.
Yeah.
There you go. Life advice.
It goes for more things than just games.
Life is a game. Pause the game. Breathe. Walk away for a second. Come back.
You know he acts, right?
Yeah. Of course.
Also, let's do the stretch before we...
I did.
Oh, you did, actually. I don't think I did.
You did?
I wish I could do that. No, I can't.
Of course I know he acts. But there's also actors that play a role that doesn't suit my style. And if that's your character, if that's the character that you portray yourself as, then it might as well be you. If that is the face that you show the internet, in this case,
that is fair.
Then that is you.
That is what you show, so that is what you want people to see.
Exactly. So it might not be the person, might not be as angry as the character is, but that character is the one that he shows on the internet.
Yeah. I just realized we're already an hour in.
Yes, we've also been talking a lot. Let's continue with the next one.
It's probably a good idea. Just, it's fine. So I'm stuck.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't be stuck.
Oh,
you're stuck at the mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, keep your skirt to yourself.
Try. There's a lot of it, okay?
Yeah, it's burning yourself.
Okay.
Just wear pants for it.
You know your smacking distance, right? Bitch.
Take that.
Okay. Chapter 54. Zerfer's perspective. Zerfer had lost Ayel in the thralls of battle. She seemed to be flittering between the monsters surrounding him. His hands were feeling weird, but he didn't have time to think about that, as more soldiers tried to overrun him. As he tensed his knuckles around the hilt of his knives, an intense pain shot through his lower arms. Forced to put them away, he started dodging rather than attacking, and working his way towards the center. Suddenly, he saw himself running towards him.
Mirror?
It started to move and shift into an orb of gelatinous slime, writhing on the meadow ground, until suddenly it shrank to the shape of a person. Zerfer couldn't believe his eyes when he saw that the person in front of him was himself.
By the gods. How is this possible?
The mirror Zerfer circled along the realm for a few moments. His posture, his size, even the twitching of his ears to clear the battlefield were the same. Then, with a swift left swipe, he started his attack. Zerfer gripped the clone by the forearm and pulled on it, making it stumble. It recovered quickly, though, just like the real Zerfer would. The creature wouldn't speak. It wouldn't even open his mouth. He moved quickly around the real Zerfer, like every move was rehearsed. The mirror image pulled out a warbled blade, almost like he didn't quite know what it was supposed to look like.
How is this possible? Answer me.
But the clone didn't respond at all. Instead, it lunged forward, nipping Zerfer in the arm with the warped blade. Zerfer danced back, knowing his blade would cause him pain. He decided to keep them sheathed for now. He needed to figure out how to get close to himself. Zerfer danced around the mirror image, testing out how close he could get and how true to life this creature really was. As expected, he blocked all of the attacks Zerfer threw at him. One of the closer calls was when he dashed underneath the arms of the fake Zerfer. A blade danced across his back. The cut wasn't deep, but it was long. It started bleeding slightly. Zerfer fell to one knee in pain. To his surprise, his opponent also started bleeding from his back.
If I get hurt, it must reflect it too.
The clone turned around and swiped. The close dodge was enough for Zerfa to get far enough away to slowly get up from the ground.
What is this? How are the two of you? It's a gelatinous blob that somehow transforms into me, but it also mimics my wounds. So hurting it won't do anything, but hurting its source image will? That means killing me, doesn't it? No, you idiot. Nobody's killing you. We make it transform into something else, and then kill that. I think I like your idea better than mine. You take right, I distract it. Then you make it turn around, but instead there will be one of the foot soldiers.
Zerfa nodded in agreement and started walking. The clone Zerfa didn't know who to look at, so it shook its head back and forth from Zerfa and Theoden and back, until finally fixating on Theoden. When Zerfa arrived at the other side of the circle, he pulled out a knife and held it to the throat of one of the minions. Zerfa pulled the demon towards the slime while it tried to escape, to no avail. Theoden was still looking intently at the clone Zerfa staring back at him. When Zerfa got close enough, he pushed the demon towards his clone, making it turn around. The slime quickly shifted into what it thought was his opponent, and at that moment, Theoden shot an arrow through the foot soldier's head. Both the monsters slumped to the ground, and the slime turned into a prone puddle.
How did you find out it was me? I can smell it was you from a mile away. Plus, I saw it attack you with different knives than you have. Must have not seen your knives and couldn't predict them. Sit forward.
Fair.
David's perspective. Baal was moving as he spoke to David, trying to lead him away from the center of the battlefield. David trying to circle the orc like it was a pit fight.
Still a weapon, I see. Such hubris.
I don't need weapons. Got my fists for that. Also, my insignificant friends have been taking out the best soldiers in your army. So how insignificant is your army?
They are unimportant.
Then why do you hide behind them? Or leave when you're alone? I doubt it's cowardice. Or is it?
Cowardice. Ha! I stand before you, do I not? I will have your secrets.
David dodged to his side and pushed Baal's hand away. You'll never have my secrets if you kill me.
Your blood will spill. It will tell me what you are and how to use it.
Even if my blood spills, it will be muddled with yours. I'm not going down without a fight. Baal braced again, wielding his heavy broadsword. For how large it was, Baal was fairly quick with it. David got into a fighting stance, trying to prepare for Baal's every move. As the heavy sword swiped for his shoulders, Baal chuckled softly. David dodged the blade and ran in closer, where Baal wouldn't be able to swing the large blade. David threw heavy punches at the orc's face. Some of the punches were direct hits, while others could be dodged. Taking a hand off his blade, he pulled a dagger from his belt and swiped at David, nicking him in his lower arm. David fell back, clutching his arm. Full of dirty tricks, hungry.
By not surrendering, you made this into war. I will take what I need by any means.
You need nothing from me. I have nothing to give you. This entire war is pointless. You made this a war because you wanted something from me.
You could have what I need. Tell me what you are.
The large blade swung swiftly to David. What does it matter what I am? For all you know, I'm just some low-life being.
You could be my key to normalcy.
The orc saw red. He was enraged that David wouldn't tell him what he was. He furiously swiped several times with his sword. So he started a war of assumption. Quite a lofty assumption, if I might add. David dodged most of the swings, but the last one hit him by surprise. The blade sunk into his side, making the orc grin.
Assumption? You are unique. Your scent is special. You must be the missing piece.
He slowly pulled the sword out of David's side. He fell to his knees. I don't see how you are any different from me. You say you seek normalcy, but apart from the unnecessary war, Need for war and bloodshed. You don't seem more different than most of us.
No one could ever understand. You keep your secrets to the grave, I'll guard mine too.
He pulled the sword away behind his back, ready to swing overhead into David. David still kneeled on the ground, grabbed the knife from Baal's belt and stabbed him in the side. The wound wasn't as impressive as David, but it made Baal drop the sword and clutch his stomach.
Foul creature!
David jumped up from his position and punched Baal in the face before he could pick up the sword again, making him fall backwards. Laying on the floor, Baal had direct access to his sword. He grabbed it by the blade, and since he had no other leverage, he yanked it up to David, hitting the hilt to the already sore wound in his side. Baal dropped the sword again as David regained his footing after the painful shock to his system and grabbed onto the wrist of the hand holding Baal's dagger. He twisted it out and out until they both heard a snap. The blade fell from David's hand. A pained growl from David followed. He backed away from Baal, making the orc grin menacingly. As he walked closer, with death in his eyes, David carefully stepped backwards, clutching his arm. When David had made enough room between them, he tore off his shirt and spread his wings. He jumped up and kicked the orc that was trying to run closer into the chest. He pushed himself off even more, moving his wings to even himself out. Like an arrow, he shot upwards, closing in on the clouds above. Just before moving into the clouds, he looked down. He saw the battlefield in ruin, his friends fighting for their lives, many soldiers bleeding out on the meadow floor. Onid was correct. Red lined the blades thoroughly. As he vanished into the clouds, he felt his mind go more and more black. As he went up, the pain from his broken elbow seemed to vanish. And instead of getting colder, it got warmer.
Ayal's perspective. As their fight continued, Ayal made her way across the plains. She managed to avoid some fights, while others directly attacked her. Foot soldiers would either completely ignore her or harp in on her. The ones that ignored her were usually the ones watching one of the fights her friends were having with the mages. So many bodies, and so much blood was all around her. She saw Gradners being thrown in the air, so she hurried her way towards the peculiar wall of flowers that hadn't been there before. She passed Lunera, fighting several creatures at once. Black spots spread across her body. Ayal was torn to help Lunera or go help Gradners first. Knowing Lunera was closer, she chose. She twirled herself into the sparring ring with the soldiers created, and pushed out yet another block of air, offering Lunera the same type of healing as she did for Zerfa. Come back to me later. Gradnix needs help. He's battling a huge beast we met before. Make sure he's okay first. Ayala had no time to argue, and they heard a reverberating smash, crack, and sickening squelching sound. Ayala nodded and ran up to her wall that she let go of the moment she reached it, blades ready to strike. She hurried to the wall as quick as she could. It still took her several minutes, but she reached it and found Gradnix. He had pulled himself out of the ring and into the edge of the woods. Him she didn't ask for permission. Drawing water from the damp forest floor, she reached it up and put her hands over his wounds. You will get a proper healer, but until then, this will keep you stronger. With those words, he nodded and closed his eyes, too weak to argue. Amarilla's perspective. Amarilla tried to keep her focus on the two mages attacking her, but she glanced to where she expected David to be. She saw Baal leading David away and out of sight, but the mages were too strong for her to avoid, if she didn't keep her focus. Fire surrounded her, and a maniacal cackling was heard. The wizards seemed to enjoy this kind of torture. The lightning mage shot small bursts of lightning Amarilla's way, which mostly collided with the ground around her. Amarilla's field of view was narrowed by both the fire and the smoke around her. Tempted to turn into a wolf, she attempted to stay human a little longer. Her being on 2 feet had just as many advantages as having a wolf's teeth. She couldn't help a growl escape her throat as she attempted to jump through the flames, only to be surrounded yet again. The mages stopped laughing when they heard her growl, looked at each other, and started laughing even harder before turning their attacks around. Now Amarilla was surrounded by rolling electricity and pelted at with little embers. like she was a plaything in a cage to them. Several embers touched her skin, burned her dress, and singed her hair. The electricity hit her 2 times, before she had enough of their taunts. Unable to run towards them, she let her wings appear, and growled even louder. She dashed into the air, still being hit by the embers. Infuriated, she reached the fire mage, and before he could process what was happening, she put Zerfer's blade into his heart. He gaped at her with an open mouth as she saw his eyes dim and his body sagged under her. The lightning mage stopped laughing. His jaw dropped. He dropped from the sky and landed on his knees, pleading to Amarilla to spare his life. She moved closer, still in the air, not trusting the ground for a second. The soldiers around them started taunting the mage, throwing rocks at his head for giving up. He looked up at her, as sad and helpless as his demonic face could muster. When she was close enough, electricity shot from his body in every direction, shocking Baal's soldiers and Amarilla. Her throat closed. She couldn't even scream. Her wings tensed along with all the muscles, and she fell to the ground as she writhed in pain. Her body became limp as she lay lifeless on the plains. The mage tested her body by shooting small lightning bolts through her legs. The muscles tensed and became limp again. She made no sound or movement on her own. Primal noises of happiness was all that came forth from the demon. He looked around him. Smoking bodies was all that was left of the soldiers that had taunted him. Many of the others backed away. He came closer to Amarilla, grabbed one of her legs, and pulled her towards the center of the arena. Amarilla let the creature drag her along for a moment as she gauged her distance. She pushed her body off with one hand and twisted in the air. The knife she had been clutching onto for dear life ended up in his back. The mage screamed out before the sound faded into a snarl. She pulled the dagger out, ready to attack if necessary. The wound bled profusely, but as the snarl dissipated, the man dropped to the floor, and Amarilla didn't waste a moment. She jumped up in the air and made a quick scan of her friends. She could see all of them, all but David. It took her a moment to find Baal, slightly sequestered. He was alone, clutching his side and slowly moving back to the field. Amarilla frantically looked everywhere, but she couldn't find David. She tried to move towards Baal, but as she drew near, the urge became too strong. She dipped down enough to transition from human to wolf and not stop her momentum. She changed and kept running. A strong, overpowering howl emanated from her, and she rushed Baal. He knew she was coming for him now. She did not care. Chapter 1. Yay! Also, Lou. That made me laugh. And I was like, I cannot laugh. He will get distracted. I cannot laugh. But it made me laugh. So the other one that we're going to test is watermelon.
Yes, watermelon.
Watermelon. And this is the one that you're going to love. For sure.
Expect to, yes.
It's on.
I mean, watermelon is hot. That's pink. That is pink. Pink as hell.
So Nat's gonna skip on this one. You get a full
Watermelon.
Let's try. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
I saw the moment you read it. Yeah.
I saw that too, my peripheral vision.
Yeah, but it was a better distraction than me actually laughing out loud, because that would make you stop reading.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
Levi's favorite.
That is a good one.
It's really good. Now that I know that you have one at home, you're only getting half of this one.
That is really nice.
It's really good. Yeah.
I still prefer the Ultra Paradise.
That's fair.
The Ultra Watermelon is really nice.
I would probably get this again. I don't know if I would get a whole tray of them. I don't think they were an option, but I wouldn't. But I would definitely get a few. This is TW we're talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That checks out. Also, the reaction about Zerfer's Mirror came so late that I for a bit wondered if we were really far behind for everyone. But Vixie has been known to be a little delayed over, like, when I'm watching you and she's watching you, she tends to be a little bit more delayed. So that might be her internet. But I think Apple's comment was fair. I think we all know what he might do.
I don't want to think about it.
No, you shouldn't. It's fine.
I'll let you think about it.
I won't think about it.
You're already thinking about it.
I was.
There you go.
It's not my fault, it's Apple's fault in this case.
Nah, not at all.
Well, I never thought about it when we wrote it. I never thought about it, like, anywhere between, and then she gave that comment.
Well, you know my stance on it. I don't see Zerfair and Dragon Wolf connected as much.
True, I do, though.
So, for me, the way that this is written fits Zerfair.
I do wonder, is that different with the other characters that we're gonna not name yet?
No.
It's the same?
Yep.
Well, no, I definitely do have that.
They are their own character. But I see people as their own character as well. It's a personality.
Yeah.
We are writing a personality.
I will say...
And that is completely separate from the personality that it came from, that it spawned from.
True, that I was going to say that I do think that it has shifted over time.
Very much in this story as well. Yes.
Where Zerfa has made such progress from being the shy... He's still kind, but he was more shy at the start than he ended up being with the group. Which, technically I'm hoping for Dragon Wolf, but he's definitely still very shy. But yeah, you can notice that they do shift, and that does help or change the perspective of them being more like their characters.
Yes.
Was there a little bit much error?
Yeah.
There was like 3 in a row.
No, it was 1.
Oh, that was stuck for a second.
It was 1 that I tried to subdue.
You know that it can't go back. There's a course in it.
Okay. There's space. There's space. I can read, which means I can expand this. Yes, it's safe. But it was a little stuck in this game. But the personalities are so different that I don't connect them as much. Like, I know their origin, of course. I know that Zerfair is Dragon Wolf's character, and for the other characters for the new story, I know their origin and their creator.
True.
But that doesn't mean I'm linking them to them. I'm also not linking personality traits from the characters to their creators. Which, we do have some of those nods. We have, Zerfair's shyness at the start was definitely a nod to his creator.
True.
And Grotnix's fear of butterflies is entirely based on the creator.
Which is the reason I wanted Frog to be here!
Yes.
But yeah, they definitely have a thing. The stoic, trying not to show most of the emotions is how I met you.
Yep.
It's definitely not true between us anymore.
Not anymore.
But it's definitely how we started. So that was based on me for sure.
Yep. Mannerisms, in a general sense, are created from the character sheets that we create.
Yes.
And in the first story, those character sheets were based on their personality of the person that created it.
Well, they chose to.
They chose to. They were more based on that. And now in the second story, we have more defined characters, and not the personality that they created from their own style.
I don't know why Apple said the butterflies. Just the butterflies.
I think it was a reaction to the...
also summing it up.
Yes.
Just like you just did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before I said...
Yeah, for her. You might want to refresh now, because we're now talking anyway.
You seem to be very far behind.
Yeah.
Now, so you may want to refresh. It's a thing. Our internet is shared with neighbors below us, and it sucks. Yeah. It's unstable. So refreshing will probably put you back on where you should be.
Yeah.
It is the reason why I haven't been able to stream.
Nice.
Hey, nice.
Yo!
Long time no see, man.
Definitely. That's been a long time. Last time I saw you in my chat, I was blonde. Oh my god. How are you doing?
Yeah. Sleepy, most likely.
I should think so, yeah. Yes, it was about the connections, and I said it all before you said it. Yeah, I figured. That is true. That's what's different. Yeah, that is very much what's different. You actually missed the entire time that he was purple.
Yes, now I'm
Blue.
green. I was purple.
Yes.
And then I went blue, and then I went green.
Yeah.
Because it's the same color, just fading more and more. Yeah. And now most of my blonde shows up on camera.
Yeah. It's really dark now.
It is really dark. Because that's how you're supposed to stream.
It's really dark.
If you have a light in your face, everything gets dark.
Yeah. That's fair.
Naturally fading colors. Unintentionally, but yes.
It's really cool though. I think it looks nice.
It's been working out very well. It's not like dead wheat color, which I have had after coloring my hair.
Fair.
So,
it's what Stefan's hair is now.
Yeah, pretty much.
It
is the end of a green color that turns just into dead wheat.
Just the thing for that. That one. Where are you? What?
What? What is happening?
Fixie. I needed to do that. The words is only that. I did not. There's no words. There's only emote. And you have such a perfect emote for it, so why not?
Yes, I'm very happy with how that emote turned out.
Oh yes, I'm still waiting for Frog to finish the bonk ones. The lightsaber bonk.
Yeah. I put batteries back in my lightsaber. Now it works again.
So I didn't know it was empty.
Yeah, I emptied it.
Did not tell me that.
So now I can actually use it again. It's now just a very cool flashlight. Just it has a blue light.
Fair. You don't have to thingy constantly attached.
No, it takes so much space.
Fair. Put mounts on the wall.
I have mounts to put the blade on.
Yeah.
I also, you know those hands from IKEA? You had one up at the closet as well at some point. Those hands that Seven has one of them.
Oh yeah, it's
articulating
right.
hands.
Behind it.
Oh, it is there. Yes. So one of those.
Show it if you can reach it easier.
Yeah, that's fine. It's an articulated hand. It's made of wood. Mine is a little bit more polygonal and chunky, and it's holding up the replica Master Sword that I have.
Fair. Let me show this. So Seven bought a stand, an actual stand with hand.
Yeah, that's it. That is it.
So he means that one.
Yes. So that's the chunkier hand.
So Seven bought this stand for his headphones, and this is how they are on his desk. He bought this a month ago. It's not like he forgot. He's like, oh, this works. I just need a box. I don't need the hand. I just need the box. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your coming by.
Bye-bye.
But yeah, this annoys me because it's wrong. It's just wrong.
It's a very cool thing, actually. So if you have the hand, you can pose it into like different shapes, and then you can put your headphones in there, and it's really cool. So
you need to put it back the way it's supposed to be, because otherwise something's going to yell at me.
Well, then you should probably do that.
No, he's probably not going to notice that, but there was something underneath the box making it stand like that, which is not going to be okay.
No.
So this is good enough.
I mean, it's relatable to buying a cat tower and then the cat ending up in the box. That is this. Seven is a cat.
Yes. Yes. Very much so. Also, if we don't want it to become like 6 before we finish this story, we might want to continue.
We're gonna go.
Even though
Next.
I love talking, but yeah, it's a thing.
Yes.
Chapter 55.
Theaden's perspective. Yes.
It's fine.
Well, chapter 55.
It's true.
Theoden's perspective. Theoden and Zerfer, the dynamic duo, hunted on the foot soldiers for a while until Zerfer, yet again, got targeted by a fire mage. They started battling together until they heard a heart-wrenching howl from the other side of the field. I'll handle this, hothead. Go to her. Alright, make this weirdo chill for a bit. Theoden said as he ran to the epicenter of the howl. The closer he got, the denser the population became. More and more foot soldiers were piling on to his already high body count. Sometimes he would use arrows, other times he would use a short sword that was hidden in layers of clothing. As he got closer and closer, he could see Amarella moving on Baal. To his surprise, from a completely different corner, he noticed an old familiar face moving on Amarella. Gaius had come from the forest and was making his way through. Knowing this man's intentions, Theoden bent off towards him. He was stopped soon after by the clatter of hooves coming closer. A huge horse stopped in front of him, looking down on him from the back of the large animal. A giant knight wielding a shield in all hands was prepared to impede Theoden's movements. Theoden took a turn right, so as to not get run over by the large hooves. It made a wide turn, trampling several foot soldiers without any issue, and came charging in Theoden. Theoden stopped, stepped 3 large steps out of the way, and grasped his bow and arrows in a quick motion. He drew one and fired it before he took the last step. The knight blocked the arrow with its shield and lowered the lance. His last arrow was drawn. He had only been able to find a few of his arrows back on his run through the field, picking them up as he could. He drew it and aimed meticulously but swift, between the shield now guarding his face and the horse he was sitting on. He aimed right for the stomach. With a direct hit, the knight looked down at his abdomen. The horse plowed through the ranks as the knight pulled out the arrow like it was nothing. He threw it aside, covered in a sticky black residue. Theoden grabbed his short sword, and as the knight came closer again, he dodged the lance. While it would never hurt a horse, if he could help it, the creature was corrupted. It looked crazed. Theoden had no qualms running his blade along its flank. As the animal came by him, a cry was heard, fading into a soft neigh as the horse tumbled sideways and slid onto the ground. He threw the knight off its back in the fall. Bleeding on the floor, the horse was panting. The knight stood up, pulled out his own sword, and stabbed it into the head of the horse, putting it out of its misery. When the knight pulled the blade back, it too was covered in pitch-like red substance. Mercy, I respect that. With the knight now on equal footing, Theoden charged with his sword at the ready. The knight walked slowly, but seemed to read Theoden's mind, and slapped Theoden's weapons aside with the shield and kicked him back. Almost falling backwards, Theoden managed to balance himself and swung with the sword again. With its shield pointed outwards, Theoden's blade went to the knight's chainmail, making it leak more globs of mass from its original puncture wound. Being this close, Theoden could smell the putrid scent of the creature. He danced around the field a few times, sometimes pushing the knight back with its attacks, other times dodging the knight. Eventually, he ended up where he wanted to be. He picked up the black-stained arrow and kept it in his free hand as they sparred. The knight lashed out, an overhand smash into the ground. Theoden darted back, pulled his bow from his shoulder, and as the knight attempted to come up, he shot an arrow into the clavicle. The knight's shield arm went limp, but without flinching, it kept on slashing, trying to hit Theoden even once. However, Theoden was too fast. Dodging and darting around the creature, Theoden wondered why it was still so able. Theoden, what was that? Theoden tried to hit all the spots he could hit, but aside from the black stains on his sword, he couldn't find a weak spot. The head was too well protected. It suddenly hit him. The head. As the knight swung overhead with his sword, Theoden danced under it and managed to twist himself behind the creature. He swung his sword right for the throat, aiming to behead him. A clean swipe, but there was no resistance. The sword exited from under the helmet as easy as it entered. The helmet fell to the ground. The entire body went with it. Dark sludge started pouring out of the armor, slowly eating away at the grass underneath. It had stopped moving. Theoden kicked the helmet. It rattled empty on the floor, but Theoden had no time to ponder that. He gathered the 2 arrows while keeping the soldiers at bay and started for the place he had last seen Amarilla. He couldn't see her anymore.
Amarilla's perspective. As Amarilla let out a heart-wrenching howl, she kept running. She closed in on Baal quickly, and as she reached him, he finally spotted her. He turned towards her, giving her an opening to go right for his throat. Her teeth sank in slightly before he pushed her to the ground. With his breathing stunted, he took his sword into both hands.
You wretched little creature, how dare you?
A large boot shot out while Amarilla was still on the ground. His kick hit her low in the stomach, and as he was gearing to kick another time, she shot up and snapped at him again. Her teeth narrowly missed his leg. A low growl reverberated across the field as anger took over her entire mind.
A little whimper like that won't scare me, little girl. Time to end this. I have more important things to take care of.
She managed to dodge his first swipe and bolted for him yet again. She wished she could scream at him. Killing would have to be enough. Her teeth sank into his lower arm as it became exposed after he missed his swing.
Nah, let go of me.
He shook Amarilla off his arm. Damaged by her attack, he seemed to have trouble wielding his large blade properly. He sheathed the sword and pulled out a dirk, about the size of his forearm. Amarilla danced around him, trying to find another opening. She would hop either way and try to confuse him to where she would move next, but he moved with her smoothly. She jumped to the right, which he had predicted, and slashed along her side. A large gash was made from her hip to the start of her shoulder. Amarilla yelped and bounced back for a moment so she could regain her footing. She took a few deep breaths, keeping Baal in her sights, and he kept looking at her too. Another growl escaped her. Without faking anything this time, she pounced. Not caring about his responses, she went straight for his thigh. Baal took a step forward and stabbed downwards. It was a hit. His thigh started bleeding, and so did her tail. He produced a sound that made the trees rumble as he fell to his knees.
You think it's over, huh? You'd be correct. Over for you.
He took the dirk into his left hand and aimed it at her face. Amarilla dug her teeth deeper into his thigh. She looked up angrily and growled gruffly. The blade came closer and closer to her face, like in slow motion. A loud booming sound came from her right, and the blade now at her face was shot to the left by a fast-traveling projectile. It had been too late. The blade was too close, and slashed at the top of her snout towards her left eye, narrowly missing it before clattering to the ground. The pain was too much. She unclamped her jaw and sped away from Baal, realizing he had been milliseconds from killing her. Disoriented, she looked around, only to find the source of the loud boom. Gaius, the hunter, had returned.
She is no use to be dead.
She must die. I will get the little witch to kill her.
Baal retreated, pushing foot soldiers towards both Amarilla and Gaius. Amarilla, who had blood in her eye and felt a little strange, had to try and fight off more foot soldiers yet again. She bit in the most obvious places, anger fueling her adrenaline. As she was trying to kill the soldiers, she tried to keep out of sight of Gaius, who was also fighting soldiers. Gaius swerved around, looking for Amarilla. He took out several demons with the strange bullets. The creatures weren't dead. Amarilla could hear their slow heartbeats. She could hear him walking around to find her.
Come here, doggy.
Him speaking made it easier for Amarilla to avoid the places he was most likely to be, but the bullet that had gone off right above her head had done something to her. She was slower than she should be. She had to fight for her life to make sure the soldiers wouldn't overrun her.
Aha! There you are, doggy.
He aimed his gun at her and fired. The clicking sound was all the gun produced.
Ah, really? Empty magazine? Now?
The creatures around them, now more fearful of the gun Gaius was holding, had made a little opening for them. Amarilla, knowing this would be her only shot, jumped forward in an attempt to attack his abdomen. He saw her coming and hit her in retaliation with the butt end of his gun.
Can't you see him trying to reload here? Sheesh.
While she saw the hit coming, there was nothing she could do. He smacked the side of her head that wasn't wounded, having her fly off him a short distance. She jumped up and tried again. He dodged her second attack and pushed her to the side.
You know what? I don't need my stinking tranquilizer bullets to put your lights out. Roach force will do just fine.
Amarilla, not ready to back down, shook her head, trying to shake the dizziness from her brain, and jumped forward to attack yet again. She would not back down from this coward that had been hiding behind his bullets all this time.
Ah, especially pea powder affecting you too. Good.
Amarilla saw her chance. She snapped at it at the last second, right into his wrist, drawing blood. Writhing in pain, Gaius dropped his gun in the grass.
You filthy cur! You will pay for this when I get paid to turn you in.
His wide eyes and a sneaky grin told several different emotions. Just before Amarilla wanted to pounce him again, she saw the horde behind him part, monsters scurrying to safety. He didn't look behind him, but he probably should have. Amarilla saw her before he did. She passed by him, a finger trailing his back, shoulder, and then his jaw. Gaius was frozen in place. His gaze changed. Anger and vengeance turned into love and lust. Maca had it wrapped around her finger. She placed a small kiss on his lips that he eagerly took. Amarilla could see the color drain from his face in seconds. Gray, dehydrated, he dropped to his knees and then fell forwards, his eyes open and lifeless before Amarilla. That was too easy. Maca's voice sounded different. A layer of malice weaved through the words. Amarilla, unsure if this was who she thought it was, stepped forward tentatively. Amarilla, such a pleasure. Won't you come hug your old friend? Amarilla knew now this wasn't her friend, but she was too late to run. Maca had already come too close. I'll savor this. She gently touched Amarilla's fur. Amarilla could already feel the draining. She had been used to it, giving little bouts of energy to her friend. But this wasn't her friend, and it didn't feel good. Amarilla tried to move away, but Maca put her face in a vice-like grip. Amarilla whined, tried to look away, tried to change back. She was stuck. She looked around for help, and as the edges of her vision turned dark, from just behind Maca, she saw a familiar bow. Well, that's it, guys.
Yep.
Done for today.
Done
Bye.
for today.
Off. They're hating us. They're gonna hate us. So exciting. Also, don't kill us, please.
Fuck.
That's not the reaction I expected.
That's a way more positive reaction than we expected.
There's like one sip in there if you want to. More accurate to what I expected.
No, I demand more.
That's sad. No, not gonna happen. You had 6.
Yep. Bar.
No. Yes, I know I had 6 chapters, but I need more. But you had 6. You have nothing to complain about. July 10th. You actually get to be here if you like. I would like that.
If possible, yeah.
Yes, please. I have to figure out when to do the walkthrough as well.
Yes.
For that one.
Yes. I mean, that's in 3 weeks. Fine.
True.
Oh,
so what did you guys think of this stream? The entire thing, not just the ending of this, of course. What's your stomach? Very cute little sound. I have plenty to complain about. No, you don't. You have 16 other chapters to read if you'd like. So, I'm gonna tell you guys something. You guys remember how we managed to finally convince Holy to do more chapters? I may have given him the idea that if we were to do more chapters, this would be where we would end on this stream.
It was all a plot. You guys didn't convince me. You convinced me.
Yeah.
Because I love to be annoying.
Evil.
So, all that
Okay.
far in advance, we planned this.
Yeah. The most mysterious though.
Probably here, honestly, but
There's most likely a strap to them, yes, and then sticks out. Because they're huge. Like a normal bow is huge.
I was thinking of a different bow.
What would you?
I was thinking of a bow tie, but likely like in her hair, as in Maka's bow.
That would have been an option, yeah.
That was the bow that I was thinking about. Yes.
Do you not remember the story, or?
You know how long this has been?
Yes, it's about 4 months now.
Exactly. No more.
I think about 4.
No more.
Can I see when we created the other one?
Yeah.
Let's check. There. March. 9. It's about 4 months.
Really?
3.5, yeah. Because I counted March fully, which it's halfway through.
There's extra bucks.
It
Your
says-
counting is correct. Don't worry about that.
It says March 14th that we started on the new one. Holy Yankee before the stream, knowing the ending to this chapter. Yes, we did. We also did a run through last Friday, so
Yes.
we do know the story.
We
what
also
we're reading.
wrote this,
Yes.
and that is when we figured out, well, we kind of want to end on this chapter in a stream. So if we now speed up, we could end there. And that was that was at the start, a little bit before, I think like 2 streams before we started doing 3 chapters per stream.
Yeah.
That was when we figured that out. Also, you are completely right, and I am so confused that it is March when it started.
Fair.
I really thought it was long ago.
To be fair, we're in chapter 16
Yes,
of
we've
the new story.
made a little bit more progress than we did with Halo. A little bit faster.
So the thing that Holy said is like, yeah, we can stream the other one, but I want at least to have like 10 chapters done before we end up streaming the new one.
Yeah.
It's like,
done.
okay, that's fair. That's a good compromise. And I was like, we've passed that. We've passed 1.5 of that.
Mm-hmm. Therefore, that goal has been met.
Yes. So we will actually continue 3 weeks, hopefully.
Yeah.
To we just continue into Relic. We will not have a break for them. No, not every week. 3 weeks. I just said it. So you pretend to be nice and give us what we want, but all along there's just extra bullying to be able to end like this. Yes, that's accurate. Thank you. You know how much they're gonna hate us next week.
I don't know.
Do you remember where we start?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Now they're gonna hate us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys are going to hate us. This is going to be fun.
So, yes, we're evil. There you go. Now there's proof on the internet. Bully Flame. Bully Anna.
Aren't all writers supposed to be evil?
Yes,
No.
to some extent.
Suffer. This is fine. Suffers in silence.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I did not like that comment.
Next time is going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be very important as well.
True.
So
Make sure you're there.
make sure you're up to date and make sure you're there. You don't want to miss out.
Some answers will be met. Don't worry.
Satan. That's an answer. You already had that answer. You know me for 8 years now. You know I am Satan. Satan flame.
The pretty flame.
Unholy flame.
Yes. Unholy Lily.
That's my Pokemon there.
I know. I remembered.
Yes. I tell the stream. It's information that I share with stream, even though I said it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you looked at me, so my
That's
brain
correct.
went like you're telling me, so but I knew this.
Yes. But you knowing this doesn't mean that stream knows it.
Fair. See, in my brain, everyone watches your streams because I love them so much. They should. Whenever he starts again. Whenever he can.
Yep.
But I have hope for Key. I remember I remember the stream where she actually said, like, I like you better. My brain, this is over now.
Demon flame. Hell yeah.
Satan and flames were mentioned. Have I been summoned? Well, you should have been here from the start.
Should never have left, boy.
Well, Holy didn't have a plan. I had the plan. He just agreed to it.
It was all her plan. She is evil. I'm not.
He agreed to it. He's still evil.
I can't even finish that sentence without cracking up.
Oh no, I'm definitely evil. Yeah. I'm never nice.
Only missed one chapter. Come on. Is that right? She missed the first one. You came in at the break between the first and the second one. Were you there the entire second chapter? And if so, were you there the entire third chapter as well?
Yeah, the die sucked my soul out.
Oh, is that how it is?
Apparently so. Does that mean we get to blame Mama? She dyed my hair.
I mean, she is a witch, so I don't know if that was the color or the or just the incantation.
Nice try, Holy. You're evil as well. If anyone can confirm that, it would be Apple. Yes.
If anyone can confirm her statement, she's right. I am evil.
Yeah. Just not typing, only listen. Okay, fine.
Good.
That means you're missing a chapter though, so make sure to go back and watch that.
Yes.
My evil is seeping out. Does that happen every time I shower? Because I don't shower all that often.
That happens at all times.
Oh.
You thought it was hair dye.
No.
It's actually evil.
Is that how it works?
Yes.
That means it came all at once, and now it's slowly draining. Because it will slowly dissipate.
Yes. It's also not your evil, it's not our evil.
Apparently.
You have been cursed by the witch.
This checks out. Well, maybe I will.
Good. Make sure you're up to date, because next stream is going to be insane.
Yes.
I mean, so far the last few streams have been insane with the battle, but
It is a little hectic, yeah.
it's a very important part, and you don't want to miss it.
Sure you are. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Lies.
Tisk. Innocent.
I don't think any book reader that I know is ever innocent.
I don't think any person that I know is ever innocent. No one is innocent.
I have a very, very, very sweet young nephew. Can I consider him innocent?
How old is he?
7.
He's not innocent.
Okay, Hope as a newborn, a 1-year-old. Oh, that's not newborn, but a 1-year-old. Would she be
Also not innocent.
Why?
Because innocence is a very broad spectrum. A baby, that includes 1 year old, will shit and cry all day.
Yes.
That is not innocent.
Why?
That is evil. Because that sounds torture.
You
Then
know,
there's the 7-year-old, which is a child, and child are monsters. Children are demon spawn. So, therefore, they are not innocent.
well, Dragonwolf definitely isn't.
Dragonwolf is the child of Satan. No. 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 Woo.
He just called you Satan. If you call him child of Satan, I don't know what else you're expecting me to ask. My persuasion check failed once again.
Critical failure.
Technical difficulty.
You rolled a 1.
Oh boy. -1 for failed attempts.
I am not so bad.
I kind of expected you to just pass by it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fair. Well then. That's just got a really different ring to it.
No.
Hey,
No,
hold
no.
up. Why are you bunching us together? Apple.
No.
She said at us.
No, she said you.
Do you guys have something to tell us?
Are you a guy? She may be talking about me and Dragon.
X.
No! No!
The fact that you got it
Stream is over!
The fact that you got it out of your mouth before actually saying no, that is impressive. Oh. Father, help!
That's
No.
my boy. Oh no, my boy! Father, help! Oh my god.
Yeah. I think we're good.
I have no explaining to do.
No.
I am no one's daddy. Not even a cat.
Yet.
True. But I am no one's daddy. I am father to none.
I would not even consider myself Sticker's mom. I'm just its plaything. Scratching post.
That's better.
It's a cat. Can do a lot
It's
of
a sticker. It's also demon spawn.
Yes.
Not the child of Satan. I didn't create that thing. Come on.
Maybe we should move away from this.
Okay, maybe I should just mention I am not Satan.
No.
I wish. I am not Satan.
That's also why I called you Bully Flame and nothing else.
Yes, maybe stick your sticker.
No, it's over there.
Oh, I can't reach it.
Yes, you can. You have very long arms.
Meow.
He's like, what do you mean? What do you want?
They smell so bad. Oh.
Dragonwolf actually tried one.
Yes.
Are you were there?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sitting next to it.
Okay, the rest of the street. Dragonwolf actually tried one of these treats.
Yes. They're not bad. Presumably.
Good boy. Yeah, not
No,
bad.
that's a lot of hours.
Well,
Have a nibble.
Sticker. Here's right here. There you go.
4 out of 10. Well, that's kind of good, actually.
You want to try wet food next time?
No.
No. Not surprising coming from Wolf. Yeah, a lot of dogs eat cat food, actually. I did just call Greg Wolf a dog. Sure.
Right, you are.
Not surprising coming from a wolf. How about any number? I like that he has to do it with 2 Ks. He can't do it with 2 Cs anymore.
Exactly. Which is why there's 3 C's in thicker.
Yeah. I had to change the redeem, and then it wouldn't allow me to do the name anymore, so I had to change it with an extra C. Because with 2 it would not. Because it used to be.
Yep.
Before last year.
It should have been 2 C's.
Well, to be fair, Veets, most of this, yeah, that also happens. Cats will eat dog food too. Most wet foods, if you get a decent brand for your cat, the wet foods will actually be mostly just the protein that's in it. So I actually have 1 can of tuna wet food. If I open it, all I see is tuna and a little bit of rice. Which doesn't sound bad to me. I like tuna though.
Yes. Well, that makes sense. I'm not that big on tuna.
Like, even the chicken, it's just cooked chicken fillet, which is dry, then not dried, cooled with a little bit of rice. Like, depends on which brand you have, but it sounds fine. But there's also brands where it's one big mash of things, and then I'm like, no, it doesn't smell that great either.
I once had, it was a long time ago, I had military food, which was like a can that you could save for many years.
Mm-hmm.
And that was potato, meat, beans, and gravy.
Yeah.
And it looked like cat barf.
Fair.
But it tasted fine. It was actually really good. It was heated over a campfire. And then cooled off until you could touch the tin again.
Yeah.
And then it had like a open wheel.
Yeah.
So you just crank it open like a can of anchovies, and it was just the mushiest brown liquid goop with green bits in it, because that was the beans.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah. If that were the potatoes, then they're doing something wrong.
Alarm. And then, well, that was also the potatoes. Oh no, not the green beans. The bits. No.
Yeah.
The beans were the green bits, and the rest was just
brown mass.
Indistinguishable brown mass. But it was pretty damn good, actually. It just tasted like it should. And very much not like it looked.
Fair enough. To be fair, the cat food actually smells horrendous. I'm guessing that when that cooked, it smelled nice.
Oh, it smelled great.
Yeah.
It smelled great, it tasted great, it just didn't look well.
That's fair. Most stews won't. And
no,
it sounds
exactly.
like a stew. So.
It's basically a stew. Yeah. But then, like, keep forever in a tin. Mash.
I would actually love to try some of the MREs.
That was an MRE.
Yeah, but like the whole packs of for a whole day things.
Yep.
I'd love to try one of those.
The meals ready to eat.
Yes.
MRE.
Instead of MRI, which is a big machine in the hospital.
Yes, you don't want to eat that. There's a big magnet in it.
That's a very big magnet, yes.
It's pretty heavy on the stomach.
And you get look at the little ears. You would get attracted to all of the metal. Which in my brain went to music, and I was like, yeah, that works. You get attracted to metal. Anyways, I think we should leave it here for today. We've been streaming for 2 hours again.
It's been taking longer and longer.
I mean, it's not weird. We're doing more words. Also, these chapters were quite long.
The chapters were long. We do an extra chapter.
We're talking a lot. And
talking in the chapter ends, we tend to just tangent on for a while. So
we're good at chatting. Fair.
But yes, it has been a lot of fun. And was a good chapter. Or, yeah, good 3 chapters, actually.
Good stream.
Good stream. And be sure to be caught up and prepare to watch the next one.
Bye.
Bye, cat. Goodbye. And
let's see if there's anyone we can raid.
yes.
Usually, Mr. Knight would be online, but he's not.
No one is online.
There's literally no one.
Well,
That's it then.
that's it.
I hope you guys had fun.
Since I cannot stream, I do want to do my own outro.
Go on.
Because it feels so... It's so
You're
empty.
missing it so
Yes.
much. I'm missing it too.
With that, thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed as much as we did. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!